Let's start with the Drone Education Simulator guide. When you start the Drone Education Simulator, you will see a screen asking if the RC controller is connected. Move the sticks on the RC controller left, right, up, or down to make the screen disappear. Once the screen confirming the RC controller connection disappears, a screen will appear that will give you a tutorial on how to use the RC controller. Turn your head and look at the point of your eyes for yes or no, and the circle will turn red and be selected. Next, let's learn how to set up the menu on the main screen. First, make sure the toggle key in the first position on the left side of the RC controller is down. You can move the selection menu position with the right stick, and you can move the left stick to the right to select the menu for your current position. On the main screen, you can set language, controller mode, sound, and UI manipulation sensitivity. When single play is selected, you can set scenario, drone, map, weather, and seasons, and more. When you go into the scenario selection, there are scenarios where you can practice practical tests and scenarios where you can practice skills, test control training, and free flight. You can play the scenario with the changed settings by selecting the scenario, drone, and map, then going back and moving the menu to select Start. Next, I will explain how to operate the drone. Move the toggle key in the first left position on the RC controller to determine if the controller is currently in menu setup mode or drone control mode. After switching to drone pilot mode, press both sticks down to the middle for 1 second and then release to start the engine. Raising the RC controller's left stick up increases the rotational speed of the drone's motors and raises the drone, while lowering it decreases the rotational speed of the motors and lowers the drone down. While the drone is floating in the air, moving the RC controller's left stick from side to side will rotate the drone from side to side. With the drone floating in the air, moving the RC controller's right stick upward moves the drone in the forward direction, and moving the right stick downward moves the drone in the backward direction. Moving the RC controller's right stick to the left moves the drone to the left, and moving the right stick to the right moves the drone to the right. Moving the toggle key in the first right position on the RC controller will change the controller mode between GPS, angle, and acro. Beginners to drones usually use GPS mode and angle mode, while experienced users use acro mode. When you're done flying the drone, move the toggle key in the first position on the left side of the RC controller to enter menu setup mode. Here's how to practice for the exam. Scenarios of the type of test practice can be practiced by selecting the practice procedure on the right guide screen, and you can check the settings so far on the left guide screen. If you are unable to control the drone, check whether the controller mode is in menu setting mode or drone control mode on the right guide screen. If you follow the steps shown on the left guide screen, you will automatically move on to the next step. If you want to stop playing, you can exit to the main screen by changing the controller mode to menu setting mode and then selecting exit. This is a pest control training method. When you enter the pest control training scenario, the left guide screen will display the drone status, pest control progress, contamination rate, and the drone's height and distance. On the right guide screen, there is a camera that shows the drone's point of view, and buttons to reset the drone, restart, and exit. The drone initialization button is a button that returns to its original position when the drone is stuck in a tree or the drone's condition reaches 0%, and the drone's condition changes to 100%. The reset button is a button that can reset the disinfection progress. Change the RC controller mode to drone control mode, start it, and move the drone to the location where you want to start spraying. Move the toggle key in the second right position on the RC controller down to dispense the pesticide. When you start spraying pesticides by moving the drone at an appropriate height, the spraying area will be displayed in color according to the amount of pesticide sprayed on the left guide screen. The ratio of good to bad is displayed as a % based on the amount of sprayed to a certain area, and training ends when the % of bad exceeds a certain number. A free flight scenario is one where you can freely fly a drone of your choice. You can move freely around the map, and you can reset the drone to its original location with the drone reset button. Next, I will explain the customization function. By selecting customization on the main screen, you can customize the drone's frame, motor, propeller, battery, and details. Each item provides detailed specifications for the parts. When selecting a propeller, you must check and select whether there is a collision between the propellers on the right screen. In the case of batteries, the flight time varies depending on the specifications. After selecting the last part, you can save your customized drone by pressing Save in the right pane. Customized drones can be flown in free flight, and when customized with a frame that includes pest control functions, they can also be flown in pest control training scenarios. Here's how to set up your PID. From the main screen, select Drone Settings or select Details and Customization. And you can set the PID of the currently selected drone to suit your flight characteristics and set the sensitivity of the controller. The drone selection on the right side of the menu allows other drones to set their PID and sensitivity. This has been the Drone Education Simulator Guide. Thank you.